Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Okay, I will chant for some time until Prabhuji joins and then we'll do introduction.
Hare Krishna, VinitaGandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, VinitaGandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances unto you and all of the devotees present here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Eka Radhika Leela Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Eka Radhika Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every single day and beautiful chanting. Welcome to the call. Yeah, we'll start the recording. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Shamikrish Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter number 13 and verse 19. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before I hand over to you, I request Param PavaniShyama Mataji to give a brief introduction, Maharaj. Give us 2 minutes. Param PavaniShyama Mataji, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for this kind seva. Here's a brief introduction about today's speaker. His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji, who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services to the devotee community and served the society by donating a lots of projects. For example, he donated the deities of the Philadelphia temple, and he made 3,000 temple units and that served as an altar in the villages. He also served as a temple president, of ISKCON New Jersey for 15 years. He is known for his simplicity and humility. He is now an initiating guru in our ISKCON community. Hare Krishna, Mataji. There is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Now handing over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Param PavaniShyama Mataji, for that beautiful introduction. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for your association. I now hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. It gives me some intuition or something to discuss about Bhagavad Katha and read little bit Bhagavatam before giving the class. So we will do some prayers. Om Agyante Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौरव भक्त वृंद की जय. So today's topic on this 7th canto, 13th chapter is the behavior of a perfect person. Now one may ask, who is a perfect person? How you will recognize? So those things are given in our talk today. Particularly people are of different world and ashram. World and ashram, brahmacharya ashram, grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, sannyashram, and world and ashram is brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas, and brahman, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. These are the varnas. So if anybody who follows either world and ashram, they please Krishna. So Krishna should be in the center. If they could please Krishna, then that is his perfection, because he's pleasing, he's connecting his world and ashram to Krishna's service, not for sense enjoyment. Because people would differ. Everybody cannot be a sannyasi or vanprasthi, or everybody cannot be a brahman, could be even shudra. But if he's following his rules and regulation of that particular world and ashram and pleasing Krishna, so he's doing every activity to please Krishna. That is his perfection. But a little bit background, that Pralad Maharaja meets a Brahman and inquires from him. So this Brahman says, so I will little bit tell about this Brahman, who was this Brahman and what was his avdut, and that is what is described mostly on this particular verses that is coming also. So Pralad is meeting with an avdut. And who is an avdut? Avdut, he does not follow rules and regulation of any particular world or ashram. He lives by his own Veda, but he is very close to Krishna. He is always absorbed in Krishna. His mind is never on sense enjoyment. So just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going and he was carrying a danda, then at Danda Bhaga Nadi, they broke his danda. Nityananda Prabhu broke his danda and threw it. And what is the need for him to carry such a heavy danda on his shoulder? So he threw it. So by that he is showing that there is no need for such rules and regulation by Paramhansa or beyond even Paramhansa. Avdhuta are usually beyond even Paramhansa stage. Right? So there are 4 kinds of like Kanishta Adhikari, he only worships the temple, but does not care about devotees or is studying scriptures. Madhyam Adhikari is Ishware Tadadhineshu Balisheshu Dushattusya Prema Maitri Krapa Apeksha Sa Karoti Sa Madhyama. That he loves Krishna, serves Krishna. If somebody is a devotee, he makes friendship with him. If he's senior devotee, he surrenders, or at least he serves him. And if somebody is neutral, Agyajan, they do not have much knowledge about devotional service. So he becomes very merciful to him. And if somebody is Bhagavad Dveshi, who are against the devotional practices, then he avoids their company, or he keeps himself away, upeksha karna. So that is the Madhyam Adhikari, Kanist. And then Uttam Adhikari, he thinks that everybody is Krishna's devotee, even if they chant once. And so for preaching purpose, they have to come down. Sarva bhuteshu yapashe. Bhagavat bhavatma amatmana bhutani bhagavatyaatman yesha bhagavatottama. So those are the Uttam Bhagavat, that they think that everybody, there is a personality of God, it is Paramatma in everybody's heart. So he worships everybody. He thinks himself very, very low, and he does not preach them. So he has to come down, like Prabhupada is a Bhagavattama, Mahabhagavat, Paramhans stage. But he is preaching. So he has to come to a Madhyamadikari. Not he is a man of Madhyamadikari. And there are two things, shreyas and prayers. People, they do immediate gratification, immediate enjoyment of the material world. That is their prayers. And shreyas is what is ultimately good. So one has to think what is ultimately good. So this Avdhut, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Narad narrated this story to Yudhishthir Maharaj. And then the Avdhut is a self-realized person who knowingly hides his saintly nature and acts like a madman. So Pralad Maharaj went out of his kingdom on a tour across the universe with some of his confidential associates to study the nature of the saintly persons. He arrived at the bank of the Kaveri, where there was a mountain known as Saiya Mountain. He found a great saintly person who was lying on the ground covered with dirt and dust. But he nevertheless was looking deeply spiritually advanced. That was he was looking. So only a very advanced person can recognize such persons. If he's not advanced, then you cannot recognize such a person. Unlike the same kind of behavior was done by Bharat Maharaj's father. And Bharat Maharaj, who became later on Jad Bharat. And then he was teaching to King Raghuvan, but he was walking like that also. So they are all avdhuts, and they act like as if they don't know, they are deaf, dumb, they don't talk. But this avdhut could recognize as the Pralad Maharaja's glories, that how great he is. So he spoke with him. Just like Raghuvan could speak with Jad Bharat. Otherwise, he was for outwardly poor person, just people who wanted to sacrifice him, they just caught a hold of him. He never did not really check them, or did not say why you are taking me. He just went, they bathed him, gave him so much food. They asked him, put your head, and then they were sharpening the blade or their sword to cut his head, and he never opposed to anything. But nonetheless, Durga Devi appeared. So such person, they are all avdut in a way. So Pralad Maharaj, an advanced devotee, duly worshipped and offered obeisances. And offered obeisances to the saintly person who had adopted a python means of livelihood. And so they lie down. If food is available, if they come, they will eat. Otherwise, they will not eat. They won't go to beg from anybody. After thus worshipping the saintly person and touching his own head to the saint's lotus feet. So these are the example how you should behave here. So Pralad Maharaj is showing by this story. So Pralad Maharaj, in order to understand him, inquired very submissively as follows. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Seeing the saintly person to be quite fat, he was very fatty man. Pralad Maharaj said, my dear sir, you undergo no endeavor to earn your livelihood, but you have a stout body, exactly like that of a materialistic enjoyer. I know that if one is very rich and has nothing to do, he becomes extremely fat by eating and sleeping and performing no work. So Avdhut, fully knowledge of transcendence, you have nothing to do, and therefore you are lying down. It is also understood that you have no money for sense enjoyment. How has your body become so fat? So under the circumstance, if you do not consider my question disrespectful, kindly explain how this has happened. Your Honor appears learned, expert and intelligent in every way. You can speak very well, saying things that are pleasing to the heart. You see that people in general are engaged in fruitive activities, yet you are lying here inactive. So in this way, because Prahlad Maharaj was aware of the different stages of life, and because he had a transcendental eyes with which he can see the man's character and thus know clearly the results of acceptance and rejection. So Prahlad Maharaj could recognize this person, that he is a very highly learned, very saintly Paramahansa, So a personality like you is just fit to be spoken by one who desires self-purification. He is speaking to this person for his own purification. So Avadhut, he is continuing because of insatiable material desires, I was being carried away by the waves of material nature. Everybody has insatiable material desires. This is because of the desires we have to take so many births again and again. And thus I was engaging in different activities, struggling for existence in various forms of life. In the course of evolutionary process, which is caused by productive activities due to undesirable material sense gratification. So all these things, they come because of our desire to enjoy the material nature. So Avadhut is continuing that actual form of life for the living entity is one of spiritual happiness, which is real happiness. Rishi tat vikshitapi va vikshit api va. Your Honor appears learned, expert, and intelligent in every way. You can speak very well, saying things that are pleasing to the heart. You see that people in general are engaged in fruitive activities, yet you are lying here inactive. Everybody is engaged in fruitive activity, but you are lying inactively without caring for your food, where you will sleep, where you will eat the next day, or where is your house, or where you will take your bath, or so where you will go and pass urine, stool, or defecate. So they don't care. So Pralad Maharaja studied the bodily features of the saintly person, and through the saint's physiognomy, Pralad Maharaj could understand that he was intelligent and expert, although he was lying down and not doing anything. That is Python activity. Pralad was naturally inquisitive about why he was lying there inactive. So this is about this person who was lying down there. So Avadhut stage is beyond, even as I said, even sometime beyond Paramhansa stage. But Paramhansa, they don't give up any rules or regulations. They do follow, but Avadhut do not follow. Just Nityananda is like Avadhut. He was sannyas, then he married to one, then he married to another person. So there are Avadhuts in our Bhagavatam stories. So Avadhut narrated the hopeless condition, the living entity. Just as a deer, because of ignorance, cannot see the water within a well covered by grass. Similarly, a person who is blind to that happiness is there with the Paramatma in the heart itself, but they look for something outside, and they go. So everybody is working so hard that pa pha ba bha ma. Pa is parishram, that is pa varga. Pa is fennel, and that prath comes from the mouth. Pa is birth. Their time is, they just waste their time in frivolous activity. Birth. Bha is bhaya. They are always fearful, and ultimately they die. So, but beyond this pavarga is apavarga. That is a devotee's life. That is apavarga. So we are running after happiness in the material world. The living entity tries to achieve happiness and rid himself of the cause of distress. But because various bodies of the living entity are under the full control, not under our control, it is under the control of the nature. And nature is under the direction Maya Dhyakshana Prakriti Tuyati Sacha Characharam. So Prakriti works under the direction of the Supreme Lord. So if you could please the Supreme Lord by our activity, then automatically we become pleased because we are a part of the Supreme Lord. So all his plans are and different bodies, one after another, are ultimately their plans are baffled. Materialistic activities are always mixed with three kinds of miserable conditions. And there are Adhyatmic, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, So therefore, even if one achieves some success by performing such activity, what is the benefit of this success? One is still subjected to birth, death, old age, and disease. That is still there, and you have to leave behind everything. So the reactions of the fruitive activity, more you get attached, more you become like more you suffer in the material world. So they have no buddhi. They feel that they are no buddhi means thinking that I am the body, and to satisfy the body. Body means a group of senses together. To satisfy senses is the main purpose of my life, and they do not know that there is beyond this they have no body, because there is nobody has become happy in the material world. This is, we are filled with stool, urine, bones, majja, so many things. So many things. So ultimately our aim should be Ante Narayana Smriti. That at the end we should be remembering Krishna. That is the, so just like the gopis, fully that they were surrendered to Krishna, and they have sacrificed everything for Krishna. They are beyond this, they have no buddhi. They do not care about their happiness, distress, whatever is pleasing to Krishna, they will do that. And so when Krishna wanted them to come for Ras Leela, they all left their husbands, children, their work, home, they crossed on the thorns, but they did not feel like they must have felt pain passing through thorns, but did not care about the Vedas or home, family, what will happen, their prestige or nothing, like what people would say, they will laugh at them. Just like just Bharat Maharaja's mother, Ram's, so she loved Lord Ram, Kaikeyi. She loved Ram so much so that she tolerated everything, because the Lord Ramchandra was going to be incarnated, but then the next day, like he had to go to the forest for 14 years. He was banished for 14 years. And so that was all arranged by demigods, that if he becomes a king, and Lord Ramchandra also wanted that somehow I should go to the forest and kill the demons and add some leela that way, because he wanted to fight also, and to create some leela so we could sing his glorious activities, and we could be liberated, we could become free from material entanglement. So Bharat never told her mother again after this, when Lord Ram was banished. But she tolerated all this, because Lord Ramchandra told Kaikeyi that you are the only one who loves me, and you are the only one who could do this, as no one else would do it. So that was tolerated. Same thing, gopis tolerated all kinds of insults done by their relatives, and just like there was yajna, and Krishna sent, they were doing just yajna, and that was in Mathura, or in the forest of Mathura. And then Krishna's friend felt some hungry. So Krishna sent them, go to the this yajna, they are doing the sacrifice, they will give you something. But they said, no, we have not finished it, we cannot offer, just get out. But when Krishna pursued them to go to the wives of the Brahmanas, so they went to the Brahmanas and told the same thing. And they brought so many things, whatever was there, even their husbands scolded, and they were worried that they may not be able to go home. Krishna says that their mind, although was on the karma kand, but now they become purified, because they were worshiping karma kand, they were doing to worship Krishna, but they did not recognize that this Krishna and what is given in the scriptures is same personality. So nonetheless, so they are glorified, this Brahmana Patnis. So although people think that he is useless, why they don't do something, that is the people always criticize, something for the society. They put Gita's verses in a very, very wrong way. Whatever is happening is good. Whatever will happen is good. It is all. So that is not the way Krishna has directed what is good, what is bad, what should not be
Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, is Prabhuji frozen or I am?
Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Is it okay?
Yes,
No,
Prabhuji.
if there is some problem, please let me know.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So
No,
people ask many things, whether are you doing, if they are like Avdut kind or even a sannyasi, then they criticize him that you are not doing anything for the society. You are like a burden to the society. Do something. You are young, even to the brahmachari. You are young. Why you are wasting your time and just chanting or just taking the beat back and walking around? But they do so much and so much benefit to the society, and then do the such a high service level that nobody can do it, but they were doing it. Even being criticized. They work sometimes 16, 18 hours, like Prabhupada's disciples anyway. They will eat and go, and almost 18 hours they are on the street distributing books, collecting some funds, building temples. Sometimes they will sleep hardly, like say, I will give you some example. In Mayapur, Prabhupada asked them to build a long building and build at some temple so where they could worship the deities. At that time, in those days, 674, 73, 74, it was so difficult under the party. They would
Is it for everybody, Mataji?
yes, Mataji, for me too also, Prabhuji. Confusion.
either cement bags, or they will lie down on the this saria, by which they make the concrete and everything. So they lie down there. So much austerity. Then they showed a picture and they sent it to Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada said that where is the building? So they worked so hard to make the building. It is not that easy. So people have, so there somebody has to give a pushing. So pushing means Prabhupada, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people were like, so he pushed that he went to Chankazi, and he pushed him that you cannot break the drums or cannot stop. So there are many incidences that these pushings are there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these 6 Goswamis, they have given up their whole luxurious life and they went. And so it is all because to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada when he met that you preach because you learned in the English speaking college, Scottish Church College. So you go and preach in this English speaking world and make the people devotees, give them. And he did, he contemplated on that from his age of 22 years until he went at the age of age of like 965. So in this way, Prabhupada was pushed by his Guru Maharaj, and he did that. He listened to that. Prabhupada then pushed to his devotees to translate and print books. In just 2 months, and whole Chaitanya Charitamrita was printed and distributed. It's not an easy task, but they did it. So in this way, this pushing is also necessary. So people, although they criticize to the sannyasis or avduts or brahmacharis, but they are doing the greatest welfare work. So sometime, so Krishna consciousness needs samarpan, means sacrifice. And all time there is activity. If there is activity of Krishna consciousness, Maya cannot come. And if you have freedom, then Maya will come and grab you. Krishna consciousness is not for lazy and crazy people. The hippies, Prabhupada, like they were just lazy, they would not, I mean, so much so lazy that they will keep big hair, just lie down. Sometimes they would not wear their clothing. So there is a story of two friends who were very, very lazy. So they were sitting in a room, then there was a fire. And so they were lying there. So it is warm. So they moved it away. Or there is something, heat is coming. So they turned on the other side to the wall, but they would not get out of that. And they got burned alive. So this is the kind of lazy people are. So they do the same thing with Nirakarvadi. They are also a kind. Yes, we are Brahma, you are Brahma, and so they are very, very lazy that we will merge in the Brahma and we will become Brahma. What is the need of serving Diti for? It is like you are born and then you see so many difficulties in the material world, then you want to enter back into the mother's womb. So that is the kind of this Nirakarvadi. So this laziness is the greatest disease for mankind, and 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 it is also very sankramak. Means it could spread like wild. If somebody is lazy, oh, he's not working, why I should work? In this way, this laziness goes to other people. So preaching, when you go for preaching, then it has to be done by your own example. I mean, Prabhupada was cooking himself, Prabhupada was cleaning. So he did, means he was typing himself. When he went to Allahabad or Prayag, like almost like during at that time for this Kumbh Mela, then Prabhupada was the one who will wake up early, take bath with the cold water because there was not hot water available at that time. It's so much cold. So he will show by his own example. It's not that you just tell the, oh, you have to do that, but so teach to the devotees is very difficult. It's more difficult than teaching to the newly people because they have no knowledge, they do not understand. But the devotees, they put so many arguments when you are preaching to them. But walking is talking. Means you walk, what you do activity, what you talk. It should be that. So we have to get up out of our laziness. I'm talking all these things because this person, Avdhut, Brahman, was lying down. And what is his purpose? That's what, and I will read more about this. So laziness is like a suicide, or it's a death for a devotee if you are lazy. So as I told you, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj pushed Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. So lazy people are like animals. They are dead. One time Prabhupada was sick and so devotees told him that you do not have to give the class, somebody else, your senior person would give the class, please take rest. But nonetheless, he got ready, he went to the class. They said that people with little sickness, a little something, oh, I have a headache, I have this, and they would not come to either class or do their service. So Prabhupada was teaching by his example, so we could understand what is this. So to create the culture, one has to act first, then the culture would be established. Just like you see that Krishna and Sudama, they were there at Sandipani Muni's ashram, but they were teaching in the Gurukul how to act, how to behave, how to do service. And so they are completely surrendered to their Guru. And they went even to cutting the wood and bringing firewood. And they had to, because there was so much rain, so they had to stay overnight in the forest. So if you are continuously busy like this, then there is no possibility of becoming lazy. And grahastha are good because they have to do so much work. Sometimes brahmacharis, they criticize that but they contemplate on sense enjoyment. So grahastha is also all right. Any ashram is good as long as it is for service to Krishna. They use their whatever ashram or varna, they use everything to please Krishna, not for our sense enjoyment. The Atma Buddhi, alasya, that is, that, oh, I am the body, let the body take rest, I need more rest. In this way, so our movement is a pushing movement, dhakka dena, to push them. Just like I give you some example. Like Arjun wanted to remain, not to fight. There would be so much death and I would be killing But Krishna pushed him by giving whole Bhagavad Gita. And that means he wanted to take a sannyas. So I have to do all these things. And how I will be, like, even if I win the kingdom, I cannot enjoy without my relatives and family. So he, so the Bhagavad Gita was Levyam Ma Ishma Gama Partha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. Klevima ismaga partha netatvatyupa padyate shudram hृदय daurbalyam tyakto uttista parantapa. So Krishna is also pushing Arjuna to fight. O son of Pratha, do not yield to this degrading impotency. It does not become you. Give up means become for the Arjun, a Kshatriya. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemies. So Arjun is saying that, O killer of enemies, O Madhusudana is saying, how can I counter-attack with arrows in battle with men like Bhishma, Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Then Krishna is giving whole Bhagavad Gita, and ultimately this Arjun, he surrenders Karpanya dosha, Pahta Swabhava, Prachami Tvam Samura Cheta. Yes, sir. Disciple, my soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So in this way, Krishna instructs him in many, many ways that he get up and fight. That was his purpose. And we have also given up our duty. What is our duty? What we should be doing? What to do? What to do? We do not know our goal in life. So Krishna, in these 700 verses, Krishna gives a whole summary, whole thing of the Vedic literatures, all the Vedic literature are contained in Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Vedas or Puranas or it is 108 Upanishads or Agam, Nigam. So in this way, we can understand by this Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna gave that in hardly in 45 minutes and at the battlefield, and Arjuna understood. Then he's saying that Yatheshasi Tata Kuru. Whatever you want, I will do that. Yukta har viharasya, yukta chetasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukha. He who is regulated in his habits to eating, sleeping, recreation, work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So yoga system is to ultimately to please Krishna. Alasya, so one has to follow a spiritual master, should have a spiritual master, follow him wholeheartedly. And people were, when Prabhupada pushed them, they were ready to climb even the Mount Everest on Prabhupada's order. So much so that they were dedicated. Tamal Krishna, like in Mayapur building to build a big. So Prabhupada used to say, big monkey, big belly, jumping, no, Ceylon jumping, melancholy. What is this big belly? Yes, this man had a big belly. And so big monkey. And then he has a big belly. But Ceylon, so when all the monkeys and they gathered together at the shore of the Rameshwaram, how to jump. They found out that Sita is on the other. Sampati told them that Mother Sita is on the other side on the Ceylon. So Ceylon jumping, but everybody other than Hanuman could not dare to cross. Then so they all others were not lazy, they wanted to go, but they could not do it. But Hanuman is the only one who depended on. When Prabhupada told this, it is given in the scripture. Big monkey, big belly, Ceylon jumping, melancholy. Alasya, if one is lazy, he he cannot learn. Alasya kuto vidya, avidasya kuto dhanam, vidash. So people, so they cannot, and they cannot enjoy. So I'll see a laziness that also we. So you may say that his Avadut was lazy, but he was not really lazy. He was saying when the time comes, then he was instructing Pralad Maharaj in many ways. So not to keep your body or senses happy, or to keep the happiness of the Krishna senses. And because we are part of Krishna, then we also become automatically happy. So we do not have to just talk about the philosophy, but we should adopt that in our life. Upkaran banna. Bhakta banna, but sath upkaran means becoming the instrument for Krishna. And one can do that at any time. Jiva jago, ghora chan bole, otha nigra jao maya, vishachira bole. So everything should be done for happiness of Krishna. Life should be regulated and should be dedicated to Krishna. So there are tamogun bhakti in rajogun, bhakti in satogun, but we have to rise beyond even the satogun. That is Shuddha Sattva. And so Pralad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, even this Avadut Brahman, they are beyond even the Satogun. Alasya kuto vidya. It should be very, very regulated. So one man was, people take examples in so many ways and apply on them, but everybody's situation is different. And abhyasena to konte vairagyena chagrahite. Anyway, this Avadut story, I will tell you more little bit further that what this Avadut happened, what happened to the Avadut. I eat what is easily available. To cover my body, I use whatever is available, whether it is linen, silk, cotton, bark, or deer skin, according to my destiny. And so we should be satisfied whatever comes to us according to our destiny. We should not work so hard that we forget Krishna and only work becomes our worship. Work is for Krishna is worship, but not work for our senses is not worship. I am fully satisfied and unagitated. Sometimes I lie on the surface of the earth, sometimes on leaves. So this is Avadut is telling to Pralad Maharaj. What is the secret of his becoming so fatty and why he is lying down? So he's giving the instruction to Pralad Maharaj and through Pralad to all of us. Sometimes on a pile of ashes, sometimes by the will of others, in a palace or first class bed with pillows. So Avadut is continuing. Sometimes I bathe myself very nicely, smear sandalwood pulp all over my body, put a flower garland, and dress in fine garments and ornaments. Then I travel like a king on the back of an elephant or on a chariot or horse. Sometimes, however, I travel naked, like a person hunted by a ghost. Different people are of different mentalities. Therefore, it is not my business either to praise them or to blaspheme them. Whatever they say, they do not, Avadhut or a Paramhans, do not, just like Sukadeva Goswami. When he was going to give the Bhagavatam recitation to Parikshit Maharaj, he was naked. People were throwing stones, spitting on him. Even though these ladies were going by and laughing at him. But when he went, and he was, because only the another people of the same kind can recognize. And said if they are like not Avadut, so Sukadeva Goswami was not an Avadut, but he was Paramhans. So only Paramhans, they recognized him, they honored him, they gave him the high seat, and the king, Parikshit, was sitting at his feet, and then this whole Bhagavatam was recited. So it is not my business either to praise them or to blaspheme them. I only desire their welfare, hoping that they will agree to become one with the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. To become one with Supreme means one with the will. Whatever Krishna wants, they do it. Whatever he instructs, they do it. And Krishna is also there in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So they listen to the Bhagavatam and act on that. The mental concoction of discrimination between good and bad should be accepted as one unit and then invested in the mind, which so bad and good, they're all both are the same, two sides of the same coin. Because bad may give a bad result, you have to suffer, and good also you have to live in the material world. And when you live in the material world, you will do again something bad. And then again this cycle will go on. So better to act for Krishna and do everything. So there is a three things like that is you are doing good, bad, or no activity. But no activity means activity for Krishna. Karma, akarma, and vikarma. Akarma means acting for Krishna. It's not akarma. Not doing not anything. Not doing for sense enjoyment. They're doing everything at the order of Krishna. And the false ego should be invested in the total material. So anyway, the process and so the conclusion of this Avadhuta story, all kinds of actions are binding to the cycle of birth. Action means anything that you do in the material world that binds you to the material world, whether it is good or bad. Actions are born out of nature. In the human form of life, one must sanctify one's action by connecting these actions to Lord Krishna. This process of connecting with the absolute truth is called yoga, bhakti yoga. It is required that every human being must practice a yoga system according to the level of consciousness, and thus his action is then termed as prescribed duty. Such duty liberates a person and elevates one to Krishna consciousness. So, four kinds of fruity activity in four social orders. We talked about these four social orders. So, one who is addicted to speculative knowledge but wants to know the absolute truth is a jnani. Means gyan, knowledge by their own endeavor. But the one is a descending what Krishna wants us to do, that is the bhakti. He has no interest in the temporariness of this world, but seeks the eternal existence. Such a Gyan yogi has to make many births. Bahunam janvanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. One who meditates on the super soul, recognizing that he alone, that is the super soul worship, that is, they want to know the super soul, but they are not the topmost. Topmost is who worships the personality of Godhead, Krishna. So, like there are Gyanis, Yogis, means they want to get the yogic siddhis, and then Bhagwan realization. So, Dhyan Yogis can become a pure devotee when he is graced by the divine association of a pure devotee. Durvasa Muni and King Ambarish is very appropriate. Until then, he can be trapped by the mystical opulence accrued from the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. One who engages in direct devotional service to Lord Krishna, just like what Prabhupada start in the temple or at home, that you keep a diti and perform. So diti seva, chanting holy name, offering everything, serving the Mahatmas, Bhagavata reading, living. So living, I read many places that even if you are living our local temple, Krishna temple is Khan, if you go there regularly, worships, helps in spreading Krishna consciousness, that is as good as Vrindavan. Yes, Vrindavan is a special place, but it's not that everybody has to live in Vrindavan. They could live and go there to charge their batteries. So Prabhupada used to go on your work and then go once a year to Mayapur or Vrindavan. So that was his plan. At the end, if one can, Prabhupada went there to show the example that he left his body in Vrindavan, and that was his home. Vrindavan is my home, and Bombay is my business place. Mayapur is my place of worship. So one should act under the direction of a pure devotee connected to bona fide Guru Sishya Parampara. That is Bhakti Yoga. Such devotees are freed from speculative knowledge and fruitive activities. Jnana Karmadi Anavratam. So it should not be covered by the Gyan to merge with the Brahmajyoti or Karma, and by Karma that you want to go to the higher planetary system. So Bhakti yogis, they are always interested in pleasing Krishna by the devotional service. Most peaceful and bona fide representative of Lord Krishna in the matter of disseminating the transcendental knowledge. So such people who act for Krishna. That is what being taught. So that is the process that Prabhupada has given to us, which is very simple. Bhakti Yoga, that is the topmost yoga system. You could please very easily to Krishna in this. So there are two things that in summary are some, that one should not be lazy, one should have an association of devotees, and one should follow according to their word in ashram to please Krishna. Wherever your situation, at whatever stage you are in, if you please Krishna, act for Krishna, do everything for Krishna, live for Krishna, and teach this process to others and bring others at the lotus feet of Krishna, then you have a life which is not, which is perfection of life. This chapter itself talks about that how to, the behavior of a perfect person, how he should live. This Brahman is giving many things in the talk with this. Now you may speculate what happened to this person and how. So he just gave the talk to the same thing when nine Nimi and the 9 Yogendras. They are also talking about Dattatreya was also a Avadhut Brahman, and then he had 24 gurus, and they also teach through that gurus what he learned from these gurus. So they learned different things from that guru. That is nice on 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. No Yogendras and Nimi Maharaj. Nimi Maharaj he asked 9 questions to 9 Yogendras, and they all talk. So in a simple, succulent way of giving all the knowledge in those 9 questions. So I will end here. If anybody has any comments or questions about this one verse that we read, that is 19th. Your honor appears learned, expert, intelligent in every way. You can speak very well, saying things that are pleasing to the heart. You see that people in general are engaged in fruitive activities, yet you are lying here inactive. So
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for wonderful class. I got some very important points that you told, that laziness is the infectious disease of mankind. And sometimes people outside criticizes the brahmacharis or others as lazy, why they do not, why they are not, because they feel like they're not doing anything significant to the society. But as you mentioned, that they like hardly get time for resting, distributing books, collecting funds, building temple, and also like you give a lot of example of how, like in the context of Avadut, who is living to please Krishna, like in like instead of living for sense gratification, he's living to please Krishna. For example, you give the example of gopis, then Kaikeyi Mata, who agreed to tolerate all this insult from the society to act accordingly, Lord Ram's desire to please Lord Ram. Then Brahman Patnis, then Brahmacharis of our societies, then 6 Goswamis who left their luxurious life to please Lord Chaitanya. Then our Srila Prabhupada. Then you give the example of Krishna and Sudama, who wanted to please their Gurudev, and went to forest to collect the firewoods. And I got another very motivating point, that our Krishna conscious movement is a pushing movement. Like there is no place to like becoming like complacent. Always we need to push ourselves, like Srila Prabhupada's Gurudev Bhakti Siddhanta, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada has pushed Srila Prabhupada has pushed his disciples, and now we are also need to be in the same. Thank you so much. So blissful and motivating.
You summarized very beautifully. So thank you so much. And yeah, it is a pushing moment. You have to push. One pushes another one. Just like a mother does for the child to learn. Child may not like to go to school, but parents, they push him that you learn this, and gradually they become used to it. So it is, we should not, oh, he likes this, so let him do it. He likes to see this television or cell phone, and we give it, and then they spoil their life. So there should be pushing to get out of our sense gratification. It pleased me happy, so why not I continue to do that? No, it may be pleasing to the senses, but we are not the senses. We are a spirit soul, part of Krishna. So we have to push ourselves to serve Krishna. If we serve our senses, we will go on rotting in this material world. So rightly you said, summarized beautifully. Thank you so much.
All glories to you, Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada Maharaj. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have any question, Hemangi Gopeshwari Mataji, can you please go ahead with your question, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, such a beautiful class. Just wanted to understand, I didn't understand this analogy of big monkey, big belly. Can you please explain in what
Yes, yes.
context this is being said by Prabhupada?
Prabhupada gave that story that people like for Hanumanji, big monkey, that so many big monkeys were there at the shore, and to cross over the to go across to Lanka from the Rameshwaram or from that area, but nobody dared. They are big monkeys. It's not some small monkeys. They are so big, so huge monkeys. So he was saying that these Americans, you have big body. So sometime in a joke, he used to say big monkey, big belly, Ceylon jumping, melancholy. Melancholy is in craziness. That now this you have to jump to Ceylon to find out Mother Sita, but only one could do it. See, he used to joke and tell this Americans, and they have big body, big belly, they are daring. So at that time, there were most of the devotees were white-bodied from foreign countries, America, UK, or such places. So he forced them to give them some, that okay, you do it just like Hanuman. Don't do like big, just eat and sleep. This Avdut, he had a big belly. So on that big belly, Prabhupada was telling these things. So it's not that something that you take it as a scriptural thing, it is just as a joke. So I hope you understand that that there are big monkeys, big body people, and big belly also, they have it. But when you have some task to do it, Ceylon jumping, well, but you act like crazy, oh, I cannot do it. But Hanumanji, he did it. Although it was such so many kilometers away, 100 miles or more than he jumped in one jump. So he wanted to encourage them. He used to say that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
It's a quotation from Srila Prabhupada. It's coming from Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I liked it. So, Maharaj, one more thing, like at the stage of the Avadut, because they're just lying down, and like in Dattatreya Maharaj's case, he took that Ajigar Vritti, and whatever comes, and he's not endeavoring to get anything. So, at that point, are they basically meditating and completely absorbed in Krishna? And I mean, he's himself Krishna. So, what exactly are they sort of demonstrating?
You don't have to work hard to please your senses. Even if they are not doing, just like Bharat Maharaj, when he became a Jad Bharat, he was not crazy. He was, but anyway, he's always thinking, contemplating in the heart. about Krishna. But when the time comes, then they give the instruction, like Jad Bharat gave instruction to Raghugan. Same thing, King Rishabdev, father of Bharat Maharaj. At the end, like he gave up his kingdom, and he left over that. He was not living in the palace. And so he would have been served his supreme personality of Godhead. He is an incarnation, and he's the first prophet in Jain Samaj or Jain Dharma. It started from, so he will lie down, he will go, nobody can call him, nobody can talk to him in some forest. And he was lying in just one place like Python activity. His stool was so much fragrant, but he was lying there and whatever comes in the way, showing that you should be away from this material activity that I'm enjoying. That enjoying spirit, they are showing us by their example, is not proper. Enjoyment, real enjoyment, it is because it is temporary, it will go away and it will never give pleasure to anyone. Nobody is happy with so much wealth or so much, there is so many anxiety with so many things with our attachment. But if you use everything in Krishna's service, that is the practical Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, Prabhupada taught, and all the Goswamis are taught, that use everything in service to Krishna. If you have money, build temples, print books, distribute prasad, go from place to place, and spread Krishna consciousness. So that should be the life, and what it pleases you, the pleases heart, pleases soul, so much so that you don't want to give it up. So that not that you become lazy and just lie down, whether it is a sannyasi or whoever it is, brahmachari, like now they are respected, they get so much food, but you go from door to door, whether somebody is kicking you out, not feeding you, or you are hungry, you tolerate that. So tolerance is necessary also. According to your destiny, people, everybody gets according to their destiny, but they would work so hard without thinking that I will get it anyway, whatever is in my destiny, whatever I have done. So you do good, so your next life is good. But you do so much that you become lover of Krishna, and you kick out all this, your destiny things, your karma, and go back home, back to Godhead. So it is up to you whether you want to make a good future in the next life. And that's, but gradually Krishna is asking that you please come to my abode and enjoy with me. That is our goal, to serve Krishna and live with Krishna in his kingdom. Like a father wants his rich father that his child should come and enjoy my property. So Krishna is asking you, come and enjoy my property. He is owner of everything. Don't just think that this thing will please you in the material way of life. So do some tapasya and go back to Krishna's abode, following his instruction. But in Kali Yuga, it is made very easy that you just, which is not possible in other ages. This age is very special. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came only 525 years ago. All the Goswamis came, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Srila Prabhupada came. They are telling us, giving us the best way is to just chant, follow regularity principle, which is for many families is very easy. Meat eating, gambling, intoxication. Now with this Western culture and following this, so many unnoticed scene. Prabhupada, when he saw such scene on the billboards, he was disgusted at how I will be able to teach to on this kind of people who are always in sense enjoyment. But then he prayed to Krishna that please let my message be so clear and so transparent and so easy that people could take to this business. And by Prabhupada's prayers, and Prabhupada is a representative of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Krishna. So he has been sent by Krishna for us. So we could be free from this material entanglement, which is suffering. There is nothing enjoyment. But we feel that is enjoying with Krishna, taking his nice prasad, offering him, dressing nicely, then we are also dressed nicely. If you see your face, if it is, then in the mirror also it will look nice. So we are kind of like, you may say, a mirror of our Krishna. If Krishna is decorated, our heart is decorated. We may not see our heart, but that is decorated. So you decorate Krishna, please Krishna, feed him nicely and eat nice prasad that you offer. So this movement is very nice. It is spreading like anything, but there is it. Prabhupada said that boil down the milk. Now you have so much devotees, they have to be boiled down, so they have to become very, very pure. Just one pure person can do so much good, but not to feel that now everything is for my enjoyment and Prabhupada has done so much work and I enjoy or cheat people. Those tendencies should be given up. One should work hard for pleasure of Krishna. So please, Srila Prabhupada, and don't give up your like sadhana. So anyway, we have to understand. So Prabhupada said that in the last year that now boil down the milk. Means make the devotees more stronger, more committed, more that they sadhana, the more they have love for Krishna. Rather than increasing the number of devotees, but make them more Krishna conscious, more advanced, just like this Paramhans or Avdhut Brahman. It's not that he was just thinking of Krishna. It may not be Avdhut, but everybody cannot be Avdhut, but at least Paramhans preach or go and bring others to the lotus feet of Krishna. Show by your own example. Prabhupada always showed by his own example, not that he on his not just theoretically. He taught practically how to do that, and we follow him. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj, for that beautiful answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji, thank you for your wonderful question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for your so
Hare
answer. Dear devotees, if you have any other question, please feel free to raise hand and ask. And
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances of Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. And I just yesterday only I heard one class from Srila Prabhupada disciple, and he also told the story of burning the house. So what contest the story was like, when house is burning, you have to get up and go. So, what Prabhupada wants to tell us about this burning, like what is burning right now?
Our burning desire to enjoy should be given up and go to the where Prabhupada is showering rains of nectar, so we could be free from this. Material world is like a sansara davanala lila. Sansara is like a davanal, and we are burning in this material world, so we should get out of this situation. There are many contests these things can be said. So you heard that, so you must know what the conclusion of that particular thing. I have to go to offer Aarti in the temple. 7 o'clock. It's only 5
Yes,
minutes now.
Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. And thank you so much for your time and association. We can
Thank you so much. Thanks all the devotees, and thank you giving me opportunity. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Panchakalpatrubhascha
Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki
Srimad
jai.
Bhagavatam ki jai.
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 Hare
Krishna Maharaj.
Krishna
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Danda Pranam. Gauranga
Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Nityananda.